Sirens in Kyiv as Russian President Vladimir Putin launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine, unleashing airstrikes and ground troops across the border. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy called on citizens to take up arms. Thursday morning, he spoke with U.S. President Joe Biden, who coordinated with G7 leaders to roll out fresh sanctions against Moscow.
We've already seen the impact of our actions on Russia's currency and the ruble, which early today hit its weakest level ever in history. The Russia stock market plunged today. The Russian government borrowing rate spiked by over 15%.
The latest package includes sanctions on more Russian elites, debt and equity restrictions on 13 Russian enterprises, limiting exports of U.S. technology to Russian military, and sanctions on Russia's major financial institutions.
The two largest state banks, Sberbank and VTB, those two banks are two of the most core and large and systemic in the Russian financial system. So I think it's incredibly important that those two banks handling a majority of the dollar transactions in the country were actually subject to sanctions.
Sanctions were also slapped on Belarus, a Kremlin ally that has held joint military drills with Russia to pressure Ukraine. U.S. and allies did not move to kick Moscow out of the SWIFT banking system, a critical financial network that connects thousands of banks around the world. Nor did they sanction Putin personally, but those options remain on the table. 69% of Americans support additional sanctions on Russia, according to a Reuters Ipsos poll. But 62% oppose sending U.S. troops to defend Ukraine, which Biden repeatedly said he would not do.
No matter how unrealistic Western leaders might have thought it would be to protect Ukraine using direct military force, there was no need to advertise the fact that they were not willing to do so.
On Thursday, the U.S. sent 7,000 troops to Germany to help reassure NATO allies, in addition to the thousands recently deployed to Poland and Romania. Meanwhile, more than 100 NATO warplanes and over 150,000 troops have been put on high alert. NATO leaders are meeting virtually Friday to map out their next steps. Patsy, Widakuswara, VOA News, Washington.